Hello everyone, this is Crystal Potthoff from Peripheral Arts. I'm wearing gloves because I have a bunch of blue dye on my hands. That was the result of being careless when I was working with the turquoise. Today we're going to do a simple pattern. Been experimenting with doing some different things lately, and I'm going to get back to some basics here with a simple pattern that I had taught this two different ways. So it's going to be the same division design. One is going to look like flower petals and one is going to look like fish. I think it's kind of a fun design. So what I've done, I have divided the egg, and I'm using now a watercolor pencil, so I'm going to draw very darkly with it so you can see. I've divided the egg into 8 sections. So I got a line going this way, and these are not very straight lines. There we go. Now that's better. Okay. So I divided the egg like that, and then I put the equator on it. And now I am going to switch to my red one. You don't have to. I mean, you can draw this with a pencil. If you're going to draw it with a regular pencil, draw lightly. I am only drawing with the watercolor pencil so you can see it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw what are going to be in this one, the petals. So they come out like right about there. So there's a little bit of space, and then it has a curl. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And if you want, you can measure out the same distance and make like a little mark here so you know how big you want this to be, or you can eyeball it. All right. That is all we're going to draw. I'm going to draw it on the other side too. Okay. Now, for me, that is the extent of the pencil lines that I'm going to draw. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wax. I'm going to wax the red lines and the blue lines just up to where it touches. So like just up to there. I'm not going to wax here. This does not have any kind of border on it. So if you want to do something, you certainly could draw a border there. I didn't. What I'm probably going to do is do a wavy line there instead. All right, so let's get busy and wax. I'm going to use my Luba's Electric with my medium tip and put some wax in it. Guess it wasn't quite all the way warmed up. Okay, let's see. Is it ready to write? Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow along on the red lines that I drew. All right, normally I don't go back and forth over my lines, but Kiska is not writing very well. And then, oops, as I come around like this, I'm going to put a little dot on the end of it. Now, so I've drawn this. Now I'm going to draw where the blue line is. So I'm going to go up from the center. And then when I get almost to where it's going to touch, I'm going to go off and I'm just going to kind of make it curve so it looks like that. All right, so let's do one more. We're gonna do. Yeah, I think what I did was I drew it so dark with the red pencil, I'm having trouble seeing the wax I'm putting on. I might have to switch to a different color so I can see it. Okay, go around. Right in like that. Make a little dot. Come here. Up. Almost all the way. And then swoop out. All right, so I'm going to do that on all the others, and then I'll come back and show you what we do next. Okay, so I am back, and I have this drawn on both sides. So the next thing we're going to do is make like a little center for our flower. So it's going to just, I'm just going to draw it, and it's going to go, it's kind of a half oval shape almost. It's not really a circle, it's more like an oval. And that was not really, okay, like that. And then thinking about, what colors you want to use, there will be a little, like, I'll call it like a stamen that'll go in here, but I'm going to do that after I put it in the first color of dye. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some more lines that kind of parallel this. So there's one space, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 5 spaces in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I'm going to kind of do some alternating lines, and that's why I wanted to do that. So now we're just going to repeat this in the other ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they have kind of a curve to them. And I'm doing 5. You can do however many you want. I just chose to do 5. 1, 2, 5. And you don't even have to do the same number in all of them if you don't want to. That's also entirely up to you. Okay, so I got that done. Now, now there's a couple of different things you can do, and I'm going to do dots. So I'm going to do a series of dots all along the outside here. But if you don't want to do dots, you could do lines that looked. Oops, I didn't. You can't see that. You could do lines that look like that. Or what I'm going to do are dots, and I'm going to start it at this line. So it's going to start here, and they're just going to go all along. So you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to, but it dresses it up a little bit, I think, my opinion. So I'm just going to do some dots. I'm going to do some fairly good sized dots. And they don't have to be at each of the lines, although kind of worked out that way on mine. And I'm going to go all the way around. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to do that on these other ones. And then I am going to dye it in my first color. I'm going to plug it first. I'm going to dye it in my first color, which in the case of this one is going to be the very light pink, which is a tablespoon of the prepared pink dye from Ukrainian gift shop, a tablespoon of vinegar, and a cup of water. So when I come back, I should have a pink egg. All right, we're back, and we now have a light pink egg. And when I started this video, I was wearing gloves because I had gotten blue dye all over my hands because I forgot to wear gloves when I was touching something that was blue. But since then, since I did, before I started putting the rest of the wax on there, I washed my hands. I did the dishes, and so that took the dye off my hands. All right, so now we're ready to wax the areas that we want to be this light pink color. And I want, there's going to be a little, like the stamen, I believe that's what it's called. And put that in each of these. Right, like that. Okay, and now we're going to put something in here. I could put some more dots. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some of these lines like this. And I'll do that all the way around. And then let's see, what should we do? Okay, let's put, oh, I know, I'm going to put a couple of wavy lines in here. Right, like I'm going to put 2 wavy lines. Right, like that. And these are just ideas you can do. You could completely fill it in if you wanted to. There's a little more space in some of these than there are in others. Okay, well, that last one didn't turn out so good. Okay, and then here I'm going to do some more of these, just these lines. And they're going to kind of go with the curve of it that's up there. All right, now I'm going to put some other stuff in here. And just some, let's see, let's do, oh, I like to do these things. Tic-tac-toe, hashtag, pound sign, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm going to put one of those in each of this area. And I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I could put a wavy line along here, or I could put a straight line if I wanted to. Does it need something else? You know what? I think it needs something else. I think I'm going to put another swirl right here, just right like that. Just like that. I just think it needs something else there. And Okay. Oops. Come on. There we go. Okay. Not going to put dots around these. It's just going to be those little lines. And should we put, oh no, I went over the line. So I'm not going to do anything on this dividing line. You can if you want, but I realized I drew my one over the top of it. All right. I am going to repeat this on this side, and then I'm going to dye it in the Ukrainian gift shop pink. Another color that would be similar would be magenta fireweed from Ukrainian Accessories, or the Pysanky USA cream soda pink is also a very lovely pink, although the color I'm going to do after pink is I'm going to do Ukrainian Accessories. No, I'm actually, hold that thought. I'm going to do pink from Ukrainian gift shop next because of the color sequence I want to do. All right, I'm going to do that. I wax this side, dye it pink. I'll be back. Okay, and now we have a very pink egg, and we're going to cover the spots that we want to stay this color. And I am going to, let's see, I'm going to color in, I'm going to color in this area. So this band here that didn't have anything. Or I should say I'm going to wax in that. Then I'm going to wax in the area in between the two wavy lines. And, you know, this is where I'm just kind of using my creativity and thoughts and saying, what would I want to do in there? And now I'm going to fill in this area too. And then I will look at it under the magnifier to make sure I got everything filled in. Now in my little tic-tac-toe thing here, I'm going to make little dots in it. Right like that. Because I want to. Okay. So now I'm going to repeat that on all these other ones. And then I'll come back and show you what color I'm going to do next. Okay, so I want just a little bit of purple on this egg. I don't want it all over it. So I'm going to use this turquoise. I'm going to move it off to the side because it's casting a shadow. And I'm going to use my micro brush. And I'm going to put it, actually I'm just going to use that part right there. And I'm going to put this right here. And it will sometimes give me, you know, that gave me a blue, not a purple. Okay. Well, I guess, well, it's kind of turning purple. Okay, it's okay. We're just going to put that there. And then I will cover that area with wax. Oh, I forgot an area. Right there. Okay, well, that's a good thing. Okay, so this here needs to be covered with wax. And on this side, I forgot to do these little lines in here in the light pink, so I did them in the pink. Okay, and then I'm going to cover this up. Okay, I was hoping that would give me a purple, but it gave me kind of a bluish purple. That's all right. I just wanted another color there before my final color. And I could have just used the purple and dabbed it in there. But the reason I didn't want to just dunk the whole egg is because my next color is going to be my final color. And my final color is going to be light green, the Ukrainian Gift Shop light green. I don't know how it works with the other dyes from the other companies because I've never tested it. And it may work the same, but I don't know. So if you've tested it, leave a note in the comments. Or join the Facebook group, Peripheral Arts Pysanky, private Facebook group for us to share pictures and ask questions and whatnot. And so the light green from Ukrainian Gift Shop will go over the top of the pink, and you do not have to wash it. It just goes right over it. I am going to let it sit in there for 3 minutes, and then I'll take it out, and if it isn't green enough, I'll put it back. I'll let it rest for a few minutes. I'll put it back in the light green. And then if I wanted it to be even darker, then I could put it in the asparagus. But I'm kind of going for a springy, summery look. Whoa. And so I don't really want a dark green. I want a bright green. All right, so I'm going to finish covering these, and then I'll put it in the light green, and we'll be ready to take the wax off. And here's our results. Well, I still have to take the wax off, but I have this very beautiful green color. I did not have to rinse it or anything. While it had the pink on it, I just put it straight into the light green. So let's take the wax off and see what we've got. And here we have the completed Pysanky. So we have this beautiful green color that went over the top of the pink. We kind of have this flower petals coming out, radiating out, happiness, spring, summer, beauty. It's all there. Swirls are protection. Flowers are wisdom. Anyway, I really like it. So next week we're going to do similar division, but we're going to turn these into fish rather than flowers. So stay tuned for next week, and thank you for watching this week.